My dad has missed my childhood, but not by choice. I don't remember a lot from that night considering I was only 3 years old living in Atlanta. What my mom told me was that she held me as a SWAT team broke into our home and handcuffed my dad. I don't remember much from the first prison. This would have to be the first out of 4 I had to visit. I didn't even know why he was there. What I was told was that I sat in my grandma's lap and I looked over at the policeman who timed us during our screening. "Why is my daddy behind a TV screen?" I asked him. Why wasn't my dad with me? I didn't know that this was the start of my 16-year punishment. During my time in Atlanta, I would get picked up by my Uncle B. We would drive 4 hours to Alabama to go visit my dad. I remember having to wait in line for hours as my uncle filled out tedious forms. Every single day these forms had to be filled. If we didn't have them, we would be standing in line anyway. The worst part about seeing my dad was that he and I couldn't even be in the same room. I had to sit in a chair with a pane of glass between us. The only way I can describe the room, that it was depressing and frustrating. You don't know how it really is unless you've been there. We had maybe 20 minutes of talking time by a connected phone on the wall. Sometimes my Uncle G would come out and talk to us. He would sneak coins in his sleeves and show me small magic tricks to keep me entertained. I didn't know that my dad was yearning to talk to me from the other wall. It wasn't maybe until 2 years later where I could finally see my dad face to face as he was transferred into another prison. I could only see my dad during my school breaks. I would get picked up by Uncle B, and we would go on another 4-hour trip to go visit my dad. We were forced to wait out in the snow as we waited our turn to go inside. We had to use each other's backs to fill out inmate forms. I couldn't even ask to see my dad by name. The prison only knew him by his inmate number. Of course, we weren't the only ones waiting out in the snow. There was always a large group of people waiting inside to go see their loved ones. Women who drove for hours to see their incarcerated husbands were turned away because they had something as small as a bra wire on them. No matter what circumstance it was, metal was not allowed in the prison. I didn't realize his only break from working hard hours inside was when we came to visit. I didn't realize this was his only time to have commercial brands such as Coca-Cola or Hershey's chocolate. I was a little kid when all this was happening. In my eyes, all I wanted to do was run around and watch cartoons that were on the prison TV. I didn't want to sit around for 5 hours and talk to my dad. I wasn't aware of how much I was hurting him. It's been 10 years and my dad still has 6 more to go. The most baffling part of this whole scenario is that he is the one who had the longest sentence out of the group involved in the crime. Remember my uncle who performed coin tricks? He got out before my dad. The man who committed the crime was only sentenced 5 years. He snitched on the rest of the group and portrayed my dad as a terrible person. Yeah, my dad screwed up. I've come to terms with that. But he doesn't deserve to miss the time he can't get back. The crime that was committed involved 3 years of court cases, the Atlanta SWAT team, $1,000 fines, a 16-year prison sentence, 3 lawyers, and almost tore me away from my mom. What did my dad do? What terrible crime that tore him away from me did he commit? My dad told the man the name of a truck driver. The man wanted to transport marijuana, which is now legalized in 30+ states, to another part of the country. Disappointed much? My dad's sentence should be over now, but it's not. I'm not fatherless, my mother is happily married, and I love my stepdad, which is a privilege not every stepchild gets to have. The whole reason I'm bringing my dad's incarceration into the public eye is that I want my dad out of prison. For years, I felt like I've been punished by having my dad be absent from my life. I want to bring light on the problem of kids having incarcerated parents who have committed non-violent drug crimes. It is not our fault our parents are incarcerated. We do not represent our parents. We're not defined by them. I am my own person. I am a daughter who just wants her dad back. 16 years is too long. No more 15-minute calls. No more messed up email systems. No more wondering why my dad was locked in solitude for 5 months. No more traveling 2,166 miles to go see him for 6 hours at most. Over 5 million children have an incarcerated parent. That is twice as many people who live in LA. This shouldn't have to be a difficult conversation. Nonviolent drug crimes shouldn't have a 5+ year sentence. We want our parents back. I just want to be held by my dad again. I shouldn't have to wait another 1.5 years to do so. So please, give him back to me. Please.